Hey guys! Welcome to Whispers of Turkish Stars. All the whispers, all the little moments you crave, are right here with us. Before we dive into today's story, make sure you subscribe and share, because what you're about to hear is the kind of confession that gets the whole entertainment world talking. The cameras weren't rolling when the first truth slipped out, but the heart of the matter was born from a scene everyone's been waiting to see. Navruz, the leading man whose calm charm makes headlines without even trying, opened up about Alina in a way that stopped fans in their tracks. His words weren't rehearsed PR lines. They came out softly at first, then with the kind of weight that makes you listen closer. He spoke about their first on-screen kiss in their new project, how it landed, how it shook him, and how it left more behind than a take in a slate. He described it as a moment that surprised him, despite all his experience in front of the lens. As he put it, you can map out every mark and angle, you can rehearse lines until they feel like breathing, but certain scenes have a pulse that refuses to be controlled. With Alina, he said, that pulse was undeniable. He admitted he felt a flutter he hadn't expected, that rare rush that hits even a professional when something genuine pushes through the plan. There's the choreography you owe to the script, and then there's the electricity that sneaks in when two people truly meet in a moment. What made that day different? He pointed straight to Alina's presence. Her grounded energy. The steadiness in her voice between takes. The calm that turned a crowded set into a quiet room where they could simply listen to each other. He praised her focus and her sense of timing, the way she knows exactly when to lean into the beat of a scene and when to let silence do the work. According to him, that's where the chemistry lived, not in grand gestures, but in the small, unforced details that no one can fake. And he confessed that the ease she brought allowed him to let go of control and just feel. Even before the clapboard snapped shut on the first take, Alp admitted his heart was running ahead of him. Everyone else on set looked relaxed, the director's voice measured, the crew moving with their familiar rhythm. But inside, he said, there was a hum he couldn't quiet. He caught Alina's gaze for a fleeting instant before the scene began, and he knew the moment wouldn't be a routine one. He insisted that the electric quality of that look came from respect and trust, not from anything reckless or rushed. When you believe the person across from you will catch you, he explained, your performance stops being just performance, it becomes something truthful. He kept circling back to a simple idea: audiences can tell when a scene is pretending to feel, and they can tell when it truly does. You can write the words and plan the movements, but if you don't meet in the same emotional room, the camera will expose the gap. He echoed that over and over. Connection is the secret ingredient, and without it, the gloss doesn't matter. With Alina, he said, the connection didn't need to be manufactured, it was already in the air. And of course, fans heard him. They heard the tremor beneath his composure. They replayed every line of the interview, clipped it, translated it, argued over it in comment threads that didn't sleep. Some called his tone romantic. Others insisted it was just the discipline of two pros doing their job at the highest level. But everyone agreed on one thing: whatever was happening between Alp and Alina on set had found its way into the scene in a way you can't stage artificially. Cue the big question that never stays quiet in our world: was it only acting, or was there something more, something that lingers after the director says cut? He refused to feed the rumor mill with anything crude or careless. Instead, he doubled down on the responsibility that comes with moments like that. He said there's a duty to deliver honesty, and that when you chase sincerity, you can't fake it for the lens. If the feeling doesn't land in you first, it will never reach the audience. He knows viewers have a sixth sense for truth. If he's holding back, they'll feel that wall instantly. If he lets the feeling through, the scene speaks without shouting. Those words alone were enough to tilt the conversation in the industry. The project with Alp and Alina was already gaining attention, but this interview raised the temperature. People started wondering what the next episodes might dare to show. Was that first kiss just a spark, or a promise of something deeper in the story? The interview didn't spill secrets, but it added a color to the narrative that no teaser could fake. Then he went even softer, and the interview took a turn from headline talk to something more intimate. Alp said the moments in front of the camera often burn brighter than anyone outside the set realizes. A scene might look like a quick beat when it reaches your screen, but it can carry a weight for the actor that refuses to fade for hours. He hinted that the scenes he shares with Alina, this one, especially, left an imprint on him. Not an accident, not a crush of confusion, but a feeling born from trust and mutual care. He stressed that what you're seeing is more than script. It's a meeting of two people who honor each other's craft. Then came his walkthrough of that day. The set was in its usual groove, he said, lights steady, cameras ready, marks taped, last checks done. The director nodded, the room exhaled, and everything snapped into focus. But even with everything perfectly prepared, there's always the wild card of the human heart. Just before the scene rolled, there was that quick exchange of eyes again. Nothing theatrical, just a quiet agreement that they would tell the truth and let the rest go. He described it like stepping into a circle where noise falls away. In that circle, he trusted Alina, and she trusted him. He also let us peek behind the curtain of what looks effortless. The brief kiss the audience will see on screen is the tip of an iceberg built from hours of rehearsal, gentle adjustments, and hallway conversations about intention. He laughed, a little, at how the most delicate moments demand the fiercest attention. He said their job is to make it feel as if no one planned a thing, even though the care taken is immense. That's where Alina's calm became priceless. Her certainty and grace allowed him to disappear inside the scene without worrying about anything but the truth they were telling. Once the interview hit the internet, the wave was instant. Gossip columns spun. Fan accounts spliced together every frame where their chemistry seemed to spark. People who usually roll their eyes at on-screen romance were suddenly leaning forward. You could see the hypothesis forming across feeds: this chemistry isn't luck. It's the product of two people tuned to the same frequency. And yet the line that made people gasp was the one that felt the simplest: was it only acting? Commentators noticed how different Alp's phrasing felt this time. He wasn't defensive. He wasn't overpolished. He spoke like someone who understands that telling the truth doesn't harm a story, it enriches it. For the first time, some said, he sounded like he was willing to admit how a scene affected him without hiding behind technique. It was that emphasis on being present in the moment that set imaginations on fire. What happened when the cameras stopped and the set went quiet? He answered without sensationalizing. Some scenes, he said, evaporate as soon as the crew claps. Others stay with you, heavy and real, long after you've washed the makeup off and changed your shoes. That first kiss with Alina belonged to the second kind. When he left the set, he said, it felt like the emotion had slipped into his pocket and followed him out to the car. He didn't fight it. He let it be. Because sometimes letting a scene linger is how you honor it. His admission shed light on how he and Alina work when no one's watching. He said their rhythm came quickly, not with bravado but with ease. There wasn't a war of egos, only a respectful dance. No forced distance. No strange tension. That flow, he believes, is why the audience will feel invited into their world rather than held at arm's length. He insisted that trust didn't creep in over weeks, it was there at the start, like a stage already built, waiting for them to bring it to life. If you listen closely, you can hear the set itself speaking in these stories. Word has it the production team noticed the spark early, whispering in corners that certain takes had a glow you can't coach. The director, they say, carried a small smile after those moments, the kind of smile that tells a crew they've captured something rare. That's what people are responding to, not gossip for gossip's sake, but the sense that the harmony you see on screen was born from a real, respectful partnership off camera. The momentum has shifted now. Audiences aren't just waiting for plot twists, they're watching faces, breaths, pauses. They're asking whether the look before the kiss was written or found in the space between two heartbeats. They're collecting tiny details like souvenirs, as if a blink could explain everything. And every time Alp speaks about the scene, he protects the mystery while revealing the care. He doesn't name the unsaid. He just tells you how much the work matters. For Alina, he had nothing but admiration. He described how she comes to set with lines etched into muscle memory, yes, but also with the rare openness to throw all that away if the moment calls for it. He said she listens, really listens, and that listening is what allows both of them to improvise within the truth of the scene without losing each other. That's how the kiss felt, both delicate and undeniable, both planned and unplanned in the same breath. He even painted the silence after the take. There's the clip of the slate, the director's quiet good, the crew shuffling to reset for coverage, and in the middle of that noise, a hush between the two of them. Not awkward, not rushed, just a shared acknowledgement that they touched something honest. He said they didn't need to talk it to death. A small nod from Alina. A small nod back. And then the machine of production whirred on, as it always does. If you're wondering whether the interview hinted at anything beyond the craft, listen to the way Alp keeps drawing the boundaries with care. He neither exploits the magic nor denies it. He honors it. He says the best scenes carry a tenderness that should be protected, that talking too much about it can turn it into something it wasn't. And yet, despite that caution, he can't hide how proud he is of what they captured together. That's why the buzz refuses to die down. Fans are watching trailers frame by frame, searching for signs they might have missed. Was the inhale before the kiss scripted? Did the tilt of Alina's head happen in rehearsal or find them in the take? Every tiny clue becomes a chapter in 1,000 fan theories. And the production? Well, let's just say insiders are delighted that the heart of the show, two people meeting each other honestly, has become the talk of the town. As for what comes next, Alp stayed playful. He wouldn't spoil anything, but he promised that the story doesn't treat that first kiss like a trick. It's a door, not a destination. The emotional path runs deeper, built with the same care that made that moment sing. He wants the audience to feel not just the surface shimmer but the complicated undercurrent beneath it, the breathless hope, the fear of getting it wrong, the relief of being seen. And if you're wondering how scenes like this survive the harsh light of a long day, he gave away one last secret: kindness. The way you speak between takes. The way you check in with each other after the director calls cut. The way you hold space for the person across from you so that when the camera comes back, the trust hasn't vanished. That's the invisible part of the process that no one sees, he said, and it's the part he's most grateful for with Alina. So will the next episode amplify the heat? Will it cool down into something fragile and raw? He didn't say. He doesn't need to. The point is that when you watch, you won't just be watching two characters. You'll be witnessing a conversation that started long before the scene and kept echoing after it. And maybe that's why this interview matters, because it isn't gossip dressed up as revelation. It's a window into how truth gets made on a set filled with cables, call sheets, and coffee cups. Whatever side you're on, a team it's just acting or team there's something more, there's no denying that the chemistry between Alp Navruz and Alina Boz has entered that rare territory where viewers lean closer without realizing it. Perhaps the answer is simpler than the rumors. Sometimes two artists meet in a scene, and the scene becomes bigger than either of them expected. This is where we leave you, at least for today, with hearts pounding a little faster than when we started. If you felt that spark, if you caught yourself holding your breath imagining that eye contact before the take, then you already know why everyone is talking. Stay with us for more of the moments that make our screens feel alive, and the stories that turn a single scene into a memory. You've been listening to Whispers of Turkish Stars. If this story pulled you in, hit subscribe, share it with your fellow fans, and keep your notifications on. The next heartbeat might be the one that changes everything. Until then, keep listening for the whispers, and keep your eyes on Alp and Alina, because this chapter is only just beginning.